During this lesson, I'm going to show you how to add graphics from the design library using Easel CNC software. So what I've done is I've already logged into my account and I have changed my settings for my material up here. I selected MDF and my width is 3 inches for the length, and my thickness is going to be 0.5 or a ½ inch. So you'll see over here is my design area, and this is my three-dimensional area. In the introduction video I went over how to orbit and how to pan, so if you have any issues with that, go revisit the other videos. You can also zoom. Over here I'm going to hit the home button and that zooms me in here. You'll also see that I have a grid that'll help me with any design work as far as getting exact sizes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here in the Pro Design Library. It's the little Apple icon. And in the design library, you're going to see a lot of different items here. So you can see there's a lot of different categories, footprints, I mean, just about anything you can think of. It's basically clip art. Now there are other ways that we can get material or rather clip art in here, but we'll go over that in other videos. So I'm going to go back to basic and I'm going to just grab this dog bone right here. So when I click on that dog bone, it's going to give me 4 different options. I can either select the fill, outline on the path, outline outside the path, or outline inside the path. So I've got 4 options. I'm going to choose outline on the path for this one. So what that's going to do is it's just going to drop it into my design, and I'm going to go ahead and resize it. And one of the nice things about how Easel works is it shows you a simultaneous preview over here in the three-dimensional view. So I'm going to bring this out like that, and let's go ahead and do this. If I right-click on it, you can see I've got some different options. None of these really, I can flip it vertical, horizontal, but that really doesn't do anything to it because it's totally symmetric. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to center this up. Make it look pretty good like that. Alright, so let's say I am going to put my dog in here. Okay, put my dog's name. So I'm going to go ahead and put my dog's name in here, and we'll just grab a text like that. Oops. Double click on it. And I'll use my son's dog. His name is Dodge. I'm going to go ahead and close that down like this. And we'll do it like that. Okay. Now, let's say that I have this offset. I can actually click and drag over this, and you'll see there's another option here. I have the centering option. These are all alignment. So I'm going to click on centering, and what that does is it centers Dodge right in the middle. I can also click this one and it'll center it up and down. So if you look over here, it doesn't mill all the way or machine this all the way. So let's try changing the depth. And if I change the depth of it, that really doesn't work. So I'm going to make this about 1/8 of an inch. I'll do the same thing with this. I can also click on the 1/8 of an inch and it'll snap to that depth. Now if I go to the ½ inch, what it's going to do is it's going to cut all the way through the piece. And I don't want to do that. I'm just going to make a simple carving here. So I'm going to make sure that both of these are set to 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so because this doesn't machine all the way through, this is an 1/8 inch bit, we're going to change this to a 16th inch bit. So I'm going to change it to a 16th upcut bit. When I click on that, come back over here, you'll see that it now will machine all of that material out. So I can change the look of this if I want. I can click over here and change it from clearing out a pocket to cutting on shape, cut outside shape path, or cut inside shape path. I'm going to go ahead and say cut on shape path, and you'll see that changes things. Now if you zoom in here, it really gets tight as far as having these little small pieces, so you want to experiment with the look. Sometimes these will break off when it machines it on the router. That's a neat look like that. But for our purposes here, I'm going to say clear out a pocket. So it's going to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and make it even less of a, like a 16th, halfway between an 1/8. And you can see how that really changes it. I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to machine a very light pass. So if I turn this around and zoom in, you'll see that it doesn't go in there very deep. I can keep changing this, and I can get real precise by changing this. This is only 0.05 of an inch deep, whereas this one is 700. So if I want to say, let's say I only want to go 0.02, I just change that to 0.02, hit enter, and you can see it barely makes a cut there. But that's actually good, because if I'm going to paint this, it's going to, I can paint that really nice and it'll stand out. So I'm just going to make it a little bit deeper than that. Go to 0.3. And then if I hit simulate, it's going to go ahead and tell me it's going to take approximately 2 minutes to machine. So that's how we bring in some clip art. You can have a lot of fun with it, but just remember, the more complex the clip art you bring in, the longer your machine time is going to be.